017. If you love cars, you've probably heard this argument 100 times. Turbo or supercharger, both make more power. Both make driving more exciting, but they deliver that power in completely different ways. And the one you choose changes the entire personality of the car. 017 and 035. Because this isn't just about horsepower, it's about response, it's about sound, it's about how the car feels when you hit the throttle. And honestly, that matters just as much as the numbers. 035, 5D2. So in this video, we're breaking down turbo versus supercharger in the real world, how they work, how they feel, which one is more fun, which one has better tuning potential, and which one actually makes more sense depending on the kind of driver you are. 052-120, let's start with the simplest difference. A turbocharger is powered by exhaust gases, so instead of being driven directly by the engine, it uses the energy from the exhaust flow to spin a turbine and force more air into the engine. 120-142. A supercharger works differently. It's mechanically driven by the engine itself, usually through a belt. So the moment the engine is spinning, the supercharger is already working. That's why people always describe supercharged cars as more immediate. 142-205, and that immediate feeling is the first big difference on the road. A supercharged engine usually feels sharper right away. You touch the throttle, and the car responds instantly. There's no waiting, no big dramatic ramp up, just immediate pull. 205-229, a turbo car can feel different. Depending on the setup, you may get some lag before the boost really hits. Modern turbos are much better than older ones, but the feeling is still different. Instead of instant shove, you often get a wave of power building as the turbo spools. 229-253. And that's where the argument gets interesting, because some people love that turbo surge. It feels aggressive, it feels explosive. Once boost comes in, the car can feel like it suddenly wakes up and charges forward. 253-316. But others prefer the linear feel of a supercharger. It feels more connected, more predictable, more mechanical. The power delivery matches your throttle input in a way that feels very natural, especially on the street. 316-340. Then there's the sound. Turbo cars have their own character, spool noise, blow-off sounds, wastegate chatter, that whole compressed air drama people love. 340-403. Supercharged cars are different. They give you that iconic whine, a sound that feels almost violent in the best way possible. It's raw, mechanical, and instantly recognizable. For a lot of enthusiasts, that sound alone is enough to choose a supercharger. 403-426. Now let's talk performance and tuning. Turbochargers usually win the efficiency and peak power conversation. Why? Because they use exhaust energy that would otherwise be wasted, and they can often make huge gains with the right supporting mods and tune. 426-449. That's a big reason why turbo platforms dominate modern performance tuning. Manufacturers can get more power, better emissions, and better fuel economy on paper. And for tuners, bigger turbos can unlock serious top-end performance. With 449-511, superchargers still have their own strengths though. The response is addictive. The torque delivery feels immediate. And in the right car, that instant punch makes the whole driving experience feel more emotional, even if it isn't always the most efficient setup. 511-530. Reliability and heat also matter. Turbo systems deal with extreme heat because they're mounted around exhaust flow, and that can add complexity. Superchargers are mechanically simpler in some ways, but they also put direct load on the engine. 530-540. So neither one is free power. Both add stress, both need proper maintenance, and both can be amazing or terrible depending on the quality of the setup. 545-605. So which one is better? If you want instant response, linear power, and that insane mechanical whine, supercharger is hard to beat. If you want bigger efficiency potential, huge tuning headroom, and that violent boost surge, turbo usually takes it. 605-620 bias. But honestly, the real answer is this. Superchargers feel special, turbos are brutally effective, and the best one depends on what kind of excitement you want every time you drive. 620 sounds, 632. So now I want to hear your answer. Turbo or supercharger? Which one would you take and why? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for more real-world car content.